Hello, folks. This is Joe from MIGeekScene. I'm at C4 this weekend with, oh man, I'm really excited about this, with Jeremy Bastian of The Cursed Pirate Girl. Jeremy, how are
Thank
you
you.
doing this weekend?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Why do you got to put it on me? That's just a little rough. I'm doing fine.
That's just the politeness.
I'm not, but it's not about me, sir. It's about you.
All right. I'm doing great. I'm doing swell. This is a good show.
All right. Well, like I mentioned, he was the author of The Cursed Pirate Girl, and I'm sorry I have to open with a generic question.
That's okay.
Oh,
Here it is.
and actually I was going to put a graphic of that on the screen.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
What is The Cursed Pirate Girl about?
The story is about an orphan girl who calls herself the Cursed Pirate Girl and the search for her father. She knows that he's a pirate captain of the mythical waters that are known as the Emeritus Seas, but nobody really believes her because it's just a made-up place. Fortunately for her, she finds a talking parrot named Pepperdice who guides her to the Emeritus, and now they have to go from pirate ship to pirate ship, trying to figure out which one's her dad's, where she belongs, and why she was abandoned in the first place.
Why the pirate fantasy setting?
I don't know. That's a tough question. When I was a kid, there was a book I really loved a lot. It was written by Richard Adams, who wrote Watership Down, and illustrated by Alan Aldridge, who he used to do a lot of work for the Beatles, actually, like poster art and stuff like that. But he went on to do a couple of children's books, and one of them, The Ship's Cat, it was very monumental in the sort of my upbringing and sort of the creation of me as an artist. If that makes any sense. It's kind of early, so please.
This is before the show.
Yeah. But it was a gorgeous book. It's about this English cat who gets captured by the Spanish, and every page is starts off with an illuminated capital. It's very ornate. It's just this fun little nautical thing. And I think ever since that book, I've been drawing like little piratey characters and then little skeleton characters and stuff like that. And I have an affinity for things nautical, and I don't know, I just like that world.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Well,
a little bit.
if anyone who picks up his book, and I really suggest that you do, and I know I'm not fanboying here, his artwork is incredibly detailed. Since it is so incredibly detailed, how are your hands not gnarled permanently at this point?
I've got a pretty good little
Middle finger to
knob.
me.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Thanks.
it's all right.
I've got a pretty good knob going. There, you gotta shake it out once in a while. After good, 6 or 7 hours of inking. But you get used to it.
I mean, it's amazing. What are the inspiration behind the names of some of the characters, such as Pepperdice and Pook Tarantula?
Well, Pepperdice is just, I don't know, that just sort of came to me. I can say, Pook actually, okay, Pook comes from this is going to be horrible because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans who are like, you don't know that guy's name? I totally know that guy's name. I'm a big fan of his. But the book Lenore,
I know that one, but I don't remember his name.
See, he doesn't know either, so it's not just me. But anyway, there's one strip where it's really adorable, and I vaguely remember it now because it used to be in my fridge at a different apartment. Anyway, there are these little fishes, and because they couldn't hear because they were in the water, they were just saying pook, 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 pook. And I always liked that image of the little fish saying pook. And so I totally nabbed that and used it as a name. Now, the Swordfish Brothers, Sir Halftree and Sir Halleck, are actually a play on Gurney Halleck and Thufir Hawat from Dune.
I do like the Swordfish Brothers when they talk, that you make their speech bubbles into emblems, or from family heritage and whatnot.
Well, yeah, I really wanted to do something different with the book in pretty much every aspect I could possibly imagine. So one of the things was the speech balloons. The closest thing I can really recall of seeing something similar is when Artie and Leech are talking in X-Men, the little Morlocks? Yeah.
The Morlocks, yes.
Yeah. Morlock children, they would speak in sort of pictographs. And I went to school for graphic design. I mean, that was what I went to school for. I really want to be a comic book artist. But I really like the idea of incorporating type within a piece of artwork. And so I thought designing the balloons to incorporate part of what they're describing, what they're talking about, and just it adds to the whole sort of look of the book.
Do you work in little references or homages to other artists in your artwork, or sight gags?
I
haven't seen any sight gags per se.
Well, I in chapter 1, a couple of things here and there in the first volume. There are little homages to like friends of mine, like Dave Peterson, Mouse Guard. And see, there's a couple of other Archaea little images in there because I was signed with Archaea a long time ago, and that it's been a really long journey to get to this point. But I do put in little things here and there. It's more like hiding skulls, basically. But yeah, that's about it.
Favorite? I mean, one of your favorite artists is Mike Mignola.
Mignola. Yeah.
Mignola. Favorite piece by him?
Oh.
I know it's a little. It's hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, it is. Okay, hold on. Let me think. All right.
I like Lobster Johnson.
Lobster Johnson's all right, but Hellboy Wake the Devil, when he is like tied to the stake and the vampire Giorescu is like charging on his horse, and then he takes the stake out of the ground and just like rams the horse in the head, and then the horse and the vampire all turn to bones and like scatter. That is that is just great. His work is just pure poetry.
I mean, it is awesome, and it's awesome that he did a piece for you, and he's a fan of you.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
Cool. Yes. I used to meet him quite frequently, but always as the friend of David Peterson of Mouse Guard fame. He was a fan of Mouse Guard, and so he would always introduce me to Mike and be like, "Oh yeah, this is my friend Jeremy. He also does work," and I would just be like, "Hi, how's it going?" And but it wasn't until a Baltimore Comic-Con where Guy Davis was set up, and I know Guy,
Ooh.
and he knows of my work, and so he actually brought it was Guy, Mike. Oh, I can't remember the other gentleman, but Guy brought them over to my table and actually showed Mike my work, and ever since then he's remembered my name and he says hi to me and stuff like that. So that's really cool.
I have to pick up on another one of your influences. I'm gonna have to read this. Why is Amano Yoshitaka one of your influences?
I just love Vampire Hunter D. There's lots of those those images of D with like the cloak sort of flying, and just the line work that goes into like the angles of the hat, and the sort of beauty of the faces he does mixed with the ornamentation. It's just a really nice style. Like, I love his flourishes.
All right, well, speaking of Japanese artists, are you familiar with Berserk or the artist Kentaro Miura?
I haven't picked up anything. I've been told and recommended by many people that I should really get into it. So I am looking to do that.
I mean, if you like detailed artwork,
yeah, that's what I heard.
This guy, when he really gets into it, like in the later chapters and volumes, it's insane.
I heard there's like 37... more than that.
37 volumes, yes. I mean, you can find them online. But the thing is, he's been working on this for at least 20 years, and he takes extended breaks. Like, if you think you take a long time, I mean, 1 year, he took a whole year off between chapters.
To be fair, it's been almost 9 or 10 years since I self-published issue 1. So about 9 or 10 years to do 4 issues. That's pretty slow. All right, I'm pretty slow. I'm going for the slowest guy in comics. Okay. I want the belt.
I don't know, because there's a guy who, oh my God, I forgot the name of it. Jessica Farm. Like, he does 1 page a month.
Well, all right.
And this is supposed to be like a very long, drawn-out thing.
All right.
Like, it's supposed to take years for this.
I might have to concede the title then. That is pretty long.
One of the things I guess is not well known about you, you're into fighting games.
Yeah.
Fighting games of choice, sir.
Fighting game of choice would be King of Fighters.
Oh, okay.
King of Fighters,
SNK.
like, yeah, like 96 through 2000, like that era. I love that stuff. When I was a kid, like in elementary school, my dad would drop me and my brother off at the local putt-putt golf and games. And
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Every Saturday for $4, you can get 40 tokens, a free pop, and then play, for whatever. And we'd be there until like 1 o'clock, from 9 to 1. And it was just video games, fighting games, Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Fatal Fury, I don't know, just all that stuff.
World Heroes?
No, they didn't have a World of Heroes.
What about Samurai Showdown?
Oh yeah, Samurai Showdown, Time Killers, if anybody remembers that.
Yes.
But yeah.
Did you have a favorite character from the King of Fighters and Art of Fight series?
Well,
Like
okay.
Iori?
Iori is pretty sweet. The evil Iori is even cooler. There's just so many characters. I mean, I guess from Fatal Fury, Mai Shiranui was one of my favorites. I could really kick some butt with her. When Mortal Kombat first came out and you see like your fatality for the very first time, it's like, holy crap, what was that? He just pulled his spine out. So I really got into Mortal Kombat for a while. And there was a time where me and my brother would go to the movies, and there was a Mortal Kombat Ultimate MK3.
Okay.
And we just tag team it like after the movies, and we were unstoppable. And there was actually a way to reset the game. So when we were, done and we wanted to leave because our mom was just like looking at her watch going, hey, we got to go. We would always use Shang Tsung because then we could be anybody. But if you use Shang Tsung, you turn into Katana, you do a babality, then you turn back into Shang Tsung, then you turn into Baraka. You go up to the baby and do the chopping move. The baby goes from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, and then it goes to a blue screen, and then it resets the whole game.
Oh, man.
At least that's, that particular machine. I don't know if this is a thing with all of the arcade games.
Before we leave King of Fighters, as we're wrapping this up, I would like to say King of Fighters, the thing I liked about it is depending on what characters you chose, they would get special animations for like little rivalries throughout the game, depending on who it was. I didn't understand Japanese, but some of those were really cool. Like if you had Mai Shiranui with Andy Bogard, obviously they would talk to each other. I thought that was awesome, and I wish. Well, actually, they're starting to incorporate that into more games now, but that was awesome from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So as we're wrapping this up, what is the time frame for issues 5 and 6? Because you released issue 4 not too long ago.
Right. Chapter 4 took almost 3 years to finish. It came out last October. Insert graphic here. I will do so. It is a 54-page issue, so I think that's why they put annual on there. Arcade did that. That was not my.
Are they trying to nudge, nudge, wink, wink?
I think because it took so long to do and it's really thick, I think they put that on there to grab attention. Like, hey, this is not just a normal comic; it's a big annual. But it's not like there's going to be a 2016 annual. I'm currently on page 3 of chapter 5, and I anticipate it to be about the same length, about 50-some pages. So it might be a couple of years. But I will promise you I will try to make it as worth it as possible.
As long as you finish it.
Oh, yeah. No. The story's all written out. It's just the working on the pages and making each page like its own artistic piece.
I mean, that's the one thing I worry about Berserk, since he's been working on it for 20-plus years, that he's going to pass away before this awesome story's done. So, but I don't foresee that happening with you.
Well, I have been running. I try to run every day. I try to keep fit, but I'm, no supreme specimen.
Neither am I. And if people wanted to find out more about your artwork online, where can they find it?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram. I do have a blog and a website that I'm horrible with keeping up to date. But if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, it's a little bit more up to date. Twitter handle is @JeremyBastian, and Instagram is @Jeremy_Bastian. So.
All right, and Jeremy, final question: what would you like to say to your fans?
Thank you very much for all your patience and understanding, and I really appreciate it.
No, your comics are well worth the wait. Well, folks, this is Joe from MIGeekScene with Jeremy Bastian at C4. Take it easy.